If a deal centered around Dennis Schroeder, Kyle Kuzma, and THT would do the trick. So, Shannon, would Westbrook work with LeBron and AD? What do you make of it?
Skip, I think Westbrook is still playing at a very, very high level.
Yep.
But I believe there are better fits for what the Lakers need. Now, I don't believe these guys are better. Lonzo Ball, Mike Conley, Kyle Lowry, Malcolm Brogdon. I don't believe these guys are better than Russ as an individual player. But in the team, Chris Paul would be a better fit.
Yep.
I'm not saying I wouldn't go 3 years, but I believe next year, Chris Paul would be a better fit than Russ.
I agree.
That's just where I am.
Yep.
And Skip, I get it. He's an L.A. native. Russ plays hard, but Russ can only play his way. Remember, he wanted out of Houston. He says, I got to get back to playing Russ. Well, now if he's going to, like James Harden. James Harden played a particular way in Houston, but he got with 2 other superstars and says, you know, I can no longer play that way. He bought into a system. The question is, could Russ buy into a system, or is Russ the system?
Yep.
That's my only point. I think he's phenomenal. He plays hard. He doesn't shortchange it. He and Giannis might be the 2 hardest players on a nightly basis, and you'll find in the NBA. But for what the Lakers need, Skip, look, people like shooting. I don't know if anybody noticed this, but I'm going to break it to you. You do realize the last 2 teams that won the championship didn't shoot the 3 ball very well. The Lakers in the bubble and the Bucks were awful. So there's no, you got to shoot 3, you got to shoot 3. No. If you got size and you can dominate the boards, which the Lakers dominated the Heat, which the Bucks dominated the Sun, guess what? Ta-da, you win. So everybody, this notion about you need 3-point shots to win, Skip, but at some point in time, you're going to have to shoot some threes. Skip, Russ shot 31%. Russ in his career is a 31% three-point shooter.
Yep.
He shot 31.5 last year.
30.5. Oh, his career.
Yeah, his career 30.5.
Yeah.
He was a tick above his career at 31.5 last year. Skip, I don't get this. I really don't. And like I said, I like Russ. I think he's a phenomenal talent.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's the right person in this situation for the Lakers.
Okay. I want everybody out there in viewerland to try to grasp this concept. I agree with every word you just spoke, but think about this. We're talking about a first ballot Hall of Famer, Russell Westbrook, who is 32 years of age, and again, next year will be year 14, but he's not playing old at all.
Right.
We're talking about a man who once again last year for Washington averaged a triple-double. 22, 12, and 12.
Right.
We're talking about a man whose 12 assists a game last year led the NBA. We're talking about a man who 3 of the last 4 years has led the NBA in assists. That man, Russell Westbrook, lock first ballot Hall of Famer, right? Is a bad fit for LeBron James and Anthony Davis. And he just is. Because I think I'm on solid ground saying there's never been any player like Russell Westbrook. You brought up Giannis. He's a miniature Giannis in effort, except there's one big difference. His effort is only on offense. Giannis's effort is full court both ways, both sides of the ball, as hard as he can play offense and defense, every last dribble. Russell Westbrook plays all out with a rage hard on offense. He has a rage to star more than to win, to me. And oftentimes, he manages to sacrifice winning the basketball game for getting his stats. And he is the all-time stat machine. I mean, for the last 5 seasons, he's averaged a triple-double.
Those 12
we
rebounds
thought it was impossible.
And the 12 rebounds, Skip, got to put him in like top 5, top 7 as far as rebounding, and he's a point guard.
Okay, he's a point guard. And yet, he would be a terrible fit to me for a LeBron James, who is still the best passer in basketball. Russell Westbrook has figured out how to get his big men involved, where he drives it, and if he doesn't think he can get to the foul line or get to the rim, he'll just leave it on the floor for a big man to take one bounce with it and dunk it. So he realized, if I do that enough, I can average, I can lead the NBA in assists. But I never feel like Russ is running the offense, quarterbacking the show, getting everybody the perfect shot at the perfect moment. It doesn't feel Chris Paul-ish to me at all. It doesn't feel LeBron-ish at all to me, because LeBron has genius about I got to get him a shot at this point, at this stage of the game, where I'm going to hit Kyle Kuzma right in the shooting pocket with the perfect skip pass all the way across court. I'm going to hit him right there so he can just sit and fire and make that three. That's LeBron's genius. He has great court vision and anticipation. This is all hard for Russ. He has to force the assists, and he forces the rebounds. And you can't tell me that the rebounds hurt their team, because they don't. But a lot of times he's taking rebounds away from bigs because he just out-hustled them to the basketball, And he wants free throw rebounds, which sometimes are a little cheap, So the point is, he's a bad fit because he's not a point guard. He's a scorer, and he has led this league in scoring twice. He's led the whole league in scoring twice, but he can't shoot. Well, that's kind of Giannis-like, right? Well, he can't shoot because he's always been a terrible three-point shooter. He's still, at least Giannis doesn't take that many threes. You blast him when he takes any at all.
Anything over one is too many. Anything over zero actually is too many for Giannis.
Well, Russ is up there in the middle of the pack and taking threes. But to your point, last year, he averaged a triple-double and shot 32% from three. That ranked 150th of 156 players. 150th, well, that's a liability to me. Then his free throws have come and gone, and he's up there around mid-70s his career. But last year he shot 66% from the free throw line. Well, that won't work. If you're the point guard and you're getting to the line so many times, that ranked 103rd of 110 free throw shooters. So look at this. Three-point and free throw shooting, he is at the bottom of the barrel in both categories, which undercuts the team's ability to win, which is why the team last year, they rallied late and they finished 34 and 38. 34. So there are 4 games under 500, and in the first round they had to win the second play-in game, remember, against Indy, right? And yet Philly knocked him out in 5 games. In the Philly 5-game series, Russ shot 33% from the floor. Well, that's Giannis
awful.
just shot 62% from the floor, right? Okay, so it won't work. And he also averaged 4 turnovers. And he has led the league in turnovers repeatedly because he's going to be high risk, high turnover.
And Skip, you and I say, and we're not saying that Russ isn't a great player.
No. I give in. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer just on stat achievements.
But I believe there are better fits. I believe Mike Conley is a much better fit.
I totally agree.
Kyle Lowry is a much better fit. Brogdon or Lonzo Ball, Chris Paul, obviously Chris Paul, we know Chris Paul. Chris Paul is a fit anywhere.
He is.
Those are better fits.
He has clashed with his fellow stars, Blake Griffin, James Harden. He wouldn't obviously clash with LeBron because they're very close. And
they play, their games are very similar. They like to control the pace of the game. But I just believe there are better fits for LeBron and AD to get them to ultimately where they want to be. I just don't think the Russ is a great fit for the Lakers.
Well, obviously not, because he demands the basketball. He's going to be high usage rate. He's always close to, he's always top 3, and he might be top 1 in how much time he's got the ball in his hands. And then why did Kevin Durant say, I can't do this with Russell Westbrook? Why did he join forces with the Golden State Warriors after they had the Warriors down 3-1? I told you, I know this firsthand from a source very close to Kevin. He decided, I'm going into year 10 next year, which is his first year in Golden State. I can't win a championship with Russ as my primary decision maker, because Russ is going to dribble the ball up the floor, and it's going to be his choice. Am I going to go, or am I going to just flip it over to you standing over here on the wing and let you try to create a shot, right? And in the end, Russ is, he's like got that bull in China shop mentality. I got the ball, I see the basket, I'm going to go. I'm just going to go. I'm going to run through that brick wall and that brick wall. You can set all the brick walls you want for me. I'm going to get to the rim, or I'll get to the free throw line. I'm going to do it my way. I've never seen a player so self-absorbed, playing with rage to achieve these triple-double stats. He's a stat machine, but I'm not sure it contributes to winning, because I've never considered him a winning type player.
I just think the thing is, Mike Conley might be the second best fit behind Chris Paul. Of a guard that they can get. A guy that can handle, a guy that can, play in the pick and roll, a guy that can run the offense.
Dennis Schroeder was a miniature Russ to me. He has got that same kind of mentality, right? Where he's shoot first, think first, score first. You know, and again,
Russ doesn't have it inflated. Russ is great. Russ has been an MVP. Russ is an all-star.
Yeah.
Schroeder has an inflated view of himself because he actually